Why is learning essential to the career success of graduates? Because graduates have little to no work experience. Therefore, on-the-job training and practical work exposure is essential for skills building. But formal training is what's going to cement as well as to build up your knowledge base. Your knowledge base being the body of information that you can actually apply in helping you to actually do the job. So learning can basically be viewed in two capacities. The first one, which is through the acquisition of knowledge through what we call formal training, as well as the acquisition of technical skills that a graduate would have gained from the various roles and stints that they've occupied. That is why learning agility is such an important trait for high-performing graduates, because one will have to firstly undergo continuous role rotations in different departments, in different teams, be allocated new work in a new working environment and working with different people whilst at the same time acquiring new skill sets. So if we actually look at the learning model, 10% actually comprises of what we call formal training. So this would basically include your university qualifications as well as any external training you would actually encounter whilst you are in the graduate program. That is why it's so essential that as one prepares for the next career move, that could either be postgraduate or internship program, one needs to actually use a job spec to actually identify the knowledge, the tools, and the systems that your future role requires you to be competent in. So let's talk about it. How would you actually adopt what we call a learning mindset as an emerging professional? Firstly, this would actually include what we call training in the form of obtaining either a postgrad qualification. It would mean attending webinars, master classes, formal courses, workshops, even registering with certain professional body registrations or acquiring industry certifications. Basically, what you are doing is that you are keeping up with the current trends within your industry. Secondly, you are seeking out developmental opportunities and you're actually asking for work. Understanding as well that there's nothing such as what we call a stupid question. You also need to be stretched. You also need to be comfortable by being placed out of your comfort zone. Graduates, you need to realize that you'll be making mistakes along the way. And you must be able to forgive yourself and learn to move on. You also need to realize that at some point in your career, you will receive negative feedback whilst you are in the process of learning. So instead of allowing that to make you feel in a certain type of way, I want you to build onto it and actually try to turn that weakness into a strength. You also need to be a fast learner, be able to think on your feet as you're operating in a VUCA work environment, volatile, uncertain, complex, ambiguous, where agility and adaptability is vital. You would have also then what we call adopted that learning mindset that is built on your theoretical know-how and solidified through your crystallized intelligence.